Whoops, I'm sorry. Thank you. Have I been on mute this whole time? All right, are we back now? Sorry. Didn't realize I'd hit the mute button. That's okay. I didn't say anything important anyway. Um, it's a sunny day here. Hey, Karen, thanks for coming in. Although it's very hazy. Um, hey, Demoose, one of our homeless encampments on the right there. Yeah, it's a sunny day here, but there's lots of haze in the skies. I can't even see the Olympic Mountains across the water. So I would bet we're not going to have any good views of Mount Rainier going southbound. That kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Speaking of Tuber Chat, you guys want to grow subscribers and grow your channel, that's the man that can help you do it. You need to check out his lives. He goes live every 3 days, and the channel growth you can find over there is amazing. There's a whole bunch of creators there that are all there to help each other. So he's a good one to connect with if you're trying to grow a channel. Pardon me. Got all these they just put in all these no right turn on red signs in the last couple of months, and it really messes up traffic in this intersection. And there isn't really a reason for it. It's not like they've had tons of accidents here. You can see people coming as you're going up to go around the corner. This one makes sense because people are come sailing up the hill to take the freeway on ramp, and you could easily get clipped if you were trying to take a right turn on red. All right, onto the freeway we go. If I wanted to drive to Boston, I could get in the far left lane. That's the beginning of I-90, which is the cross-country freeway that starts here and ends in Boston, Massachusetts. Yes, we are inside the city of Seattle right now. And we will be for another few minutes. Yeah, there's really, with this being Labor Day weekend coming up, there's really like no traffic. I mean, there was some this morning, but not like normal. And usually northbound is completely backed up pretty much all day. And northbound traffic is moving. So it's obvious it's a holiday week. Now we're moving. That semi truck isn't supposed to be in the left lane. Well, if he's not going to get over like he's supposed to, I guess we'll go around him. Hey, Dad. Yeah, this guy's just driving like an a-hole. Intentionally closed the gap so I couldn't get around him. And he's not supposed to be in this lane anyway. Ginkus. What he is, he's a ginkus. Alright, now let's see if we can get around him. Jackknob. Oh well. I need to get my train horns put on so I can really blow him off the road. Hey, she good. Sorry, we kind of collided this morning. By the time I got done and got up to my doctor's appointment, you would have wrapped up already. But I watched it while I was at the doctor's appointment. I watched the replay. Yep, we're putt-putting again, but the putt-putt is about to go away. It goes into the shop in the morning to get that fixed. Hi, Izzy Pop. Thanks for coming by. I've had that exhaust leak for a long time, and I'm finally going to get it fixed, which will be nice. It's getting old. Yeah, it's really, man, the haze is just ridiculous. I don't know if we've got smoke coming down from the Canadian wildfires, or I know we've had a few small ones around here, but nothing big. But boy, it's really hazy. I mean, I know some of it's pollution, but doctor's visit went okay. Um, uh, my doc was out of town, so I saw one of the other docs that I see occasionally. He made a suggestion, so we're going to try. A long time ago, we tried to do uh, stem cell transplants, and everything was so the drainage was so excessive that it really wasn't doing anything. The transplants wouldn't take. They basically just got floated off every time. Hey, Share Bear, thanks for coming in. It's a high frequency oscillator. Yeah. Um, anyway, they think it's dry enough now so that it will stick. It might actually help. So we're going to make another attempt at stem cells and see if that won't finally solve the problem. I mean, it's really a ridiculous hole. I don't want to gross anybody out, which is why I haven't shown any pictures of it. But its measurements today was zero point 0.6 by 1.7 by zero point 0.4 centimeters deep. So it's a good size hole. I mean, it's substantially better than it was when I started, but this last little bit has been going on for a year and a half, almost 2 years anyway. Big building, the red building on the right is the indoor skydiving place. I haven't ever done it. My son has. He said it was okay. It wasn't really spectacular, but it was okay. He had a girlfriend that got him I guess it's a flight. Got him a flight as a birthday present a long time ago. All right. Now we got to jump over a couple lanes. Yeah, stem cells. They're going to try and put stem cells down in the bottom of the hole and see if that won't grow over. If that grows over the opening in the bottom of the hole, then skin would begin to grow up and progressively seal it off. Well, assuming it works, I'll let you know all about it. Um, yes, and I'm aware of that. Uh, the problem has been that the stem cells wouldn't stay put in the bottom. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for coming in. Um, and now it's it used to be I had drainage every day coming out of the wound. And now that is no longer happening. I go in on Tuesday and they trim away what's grown that, or yeah, basically what's grown that's not good. Uh, and then when I change the dressing on Wednesday, I change the dressing every day. When I change the dressing on Wednesday, uh, there's some residual drainage. But when I change it on Thursday, all that drainage is gone. Um, we are in the process of dressing it. We're using iodazorb, if you know what that is. It's kind of like uh, an iodine paste or putty. And basically, I take a little ball of that, pack it down into the hole, and that's really the only thing that marks up the dressing after Wednesday. Yeah, nerve growth is what's going to be the impossibility in the bottom of my feet here. Um, my I do have neuropathy, uh, although the neuropathy is only causes a minor portion of the pain. Most of my pain is caused by what's called tandem pain. In other words, the what hurts is what isn't there. Um, I have no toes on my right foot, and my big toe is missing on my left foot. And the pain comes from what's not there. The majority of the pain is where the toes should be, and the toes aren't there. So which seems a little ridiculous, but that's how it works. My mom ended up losing her right leg above the knee, Part of that now we know was due to lousy surgeon. Yeah, exactly. Phantom pain. Anytime you lose a piece of your body, the nerves still think it's there. And you know how if you bang your thumb with a hammer, the first thing you want to do is grab your thumb and get me out. And if it's not there to grab, there's nothing you can do. So it just, yeah, it really sucks. But that's where most of my pain comes from. Car pedals aren't really. I have big feet to start with. I mean, before I lost my toes, well, I still wear the same size shoes, but I wear a size 14 shoe, and so I never used all of my foot to run the pedals. It was just the ball of my foot. Uh, and actually, when I had my toes, it was frequently just my big toe on my right foot that ran the gas pedal. So that wasn't that big of an adjustment. And because of all the brakes and various problems I've had, I actually learned to drive left footed. I can't drive it. I've done it, but I'm not quick enough anymore to drive a stick shift with my left foot. Um, but but an automatic I can easily drive left footed. Just keep my right foot tucked under and drive left footed. Yeah, at least you can usually buy 13 up to 13, maybe even 13 and a half at most stores. Get into the 14s and above, you got to go find a specialty shop. That's one of Sibby's big complaints too. She wears a size 12 in women's shoes. Yeah, well, technically they aren't that big anymore, um, except for the fact that I need the width. Anyway, so hopefully this stem cell will be able to we'll be able to make some progress and maybe actually get this thing to heal. So I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, she rides all the time. Finds really cute shoes. They only make them in a 10. That's the biggest they come is in a 10. I actually at one point I owned it was called Dragon's Hollow, and there are still remnants of it on the internet. But it was basically a medieval store, and I sold swords and knives and uh, medieval garb, including footwear. And the place I got them from was Pleasure Shoes, and they also handled oddly enough, shoes for drag queens. And so they had some pretty huge sizes in the girly type shoes. Um, so there were a couple of times that we bought those on my commercial account for her. Yeah, I I hadn't been dealing with any of that stuff. I'd only been dealing with the thigh-high boots and more the stuff for medieval recreation and going to rent fairs and stuff. So I asked them for a full catalog and they sent it out. And I was really surprised at all the things they had. And then I realized the reason it was there was all for the drag queen industry. But it worked. They need a place to buy shoes too. I probably could have kept it going if I'd just run with that idea, but I didn't. I had made the mistake one time of I couldn't get a decent picture of a knife blade, and so I borrowed one from another website, and we got big enough that they caught wind of us. And looking through the website, realized it was their picture, and I got a cease and desist order from them. So I of course immediately took it down and put up the crappy picture I had, which was really irrelevant. I mean, yeah, you should have asked for permission, but and it really didn't matter that they had a better picture. It was a friggin' $9 knife, and I was selling it for $8. Um, so I was using their picture but undercutting their price, and it pissed them off. And then they began to have a vendetta against me, and so they were losing money in order to undercut me and took me out. But there was good money in it. I used to travel around to the Ren fairs and had a little medieval tent, and the kids would go with me, and we'd sell knives and stuff at the medieval fairs, at the Ren fairs. Back in my jousting days, wasn't that much more to load up the extra stuff on the horse trailer to go jousting and take the store stuff with us. Yeah, exactly. A medieval store that sells shoes and drag queens. It was fun. It's all fun while it lasts. Yeah, it was all fun while it lasted. Our big Washington State Renaissance fair that we have out here uh, was it got really huge, and the guy that owned it kind of got caught behind the eight ball doing some stuff on his personal property, and that ticked off the county. So the county he was in got mad and wouldn't give him permits anymore to do it. So he moved it to our county and grew great big for a while. And I don't know what happened, but it didn't happen this year. It used to go for 3 weeks, um, and has for the last several years. But it should be on right now, and it's not there. And I've still got all my stuff, my chainmail and my Iberian Army sword and my Norse battle axe and a few other things. Just sits in my sword bag in my closet. I don't get to play with it anymore. Hey, go with the flow. Thanks for coming in, bud. There's one of those silly Tesla trucks. I saw a Tesla truck this morning that actually had a canopy on the back. It was the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. And it wasn't. It was actually it looked like something that was made for it, but it really looked stupid. Huh. They had one of those cool uh, luggage things on top of it. Yeah, it really looked ridiculous. There may be some a short piece of video at the very beginning of my live this morning because it was just in front of me for a few minutes. Unfortunately, I got to make a bunch of short stops as we come up into Bonney Lake today. So I'm probably going to end it a little bit before I usually do. Um, I have to stop and get my license tab, and I have to hit the pharmacy. Uh, and obviously, every week I have to hit Safeway. And then I got to hit the post office. Um, but yeah, so we'll end it when we get up to the top of Eli Hill. Bump. Kind of funny. Usually the truck suspensions are stiffer, and Chevy's little RAV4 has a stiffer suspension than my truck does. I didn't really notice it until last week when I had to bring her car up to Seattle. Hitting all the same bumps in my truck and her car, it was a big difference. All right, around the corner and up onto Highway 410. The bridge that it was hit by the vac truck is still closed and still will be for quite a while. So Highway 410 is closed 19 miles up the road. And away we go. Get up there and turn the cruise control on, and we're at this. Washington State Fair starts this week too, or next week. That runs for 3.5 weeks. Haven't been able to go the last couple of years. The kids always go. I bet I could rent a motorized scooter down there to go on. I'll bet you I can. I'm gonna have to look into that. That would be fun. Last time I was there, I think we saw Pentatonic, which was a great show. And it's a huge fair. It's cool. I like the littler county fairs better because you don't have to. I mean, in reality, in order to do all the fairs, or the Washington State Fair fully, it takes a couple of days to do it. I like the little county fairs where you can do the whole fair in 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours if you're going to do the midway too. Bum, bum, bum. And up the hill. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up as we get to the top of this hill. Thank you all for being here. You guys keep me amused on this drive. Otherwise, I end up sitting here talking to myself, which I would be doing if you weren't here. As silly as it sounds, I still would be talking to myself. So thank you for being here. I love you all, and we will catch you guys next week, probably 7:15 on Tuesday morning or thereabouts. So thanks, and we'll see you somewhere else on YouTube.